The land had already witnessed the conflicts of a young nation before it became the home of another kind of institution. In 1862, in Mansfield, Ohio, a Civil War training camp named Camp Bartley was erected. In 1867, when the Civil War was winding down, the land was nominated for the new Intermediate Penitentiary. Construction began in 1886 on the way station, not only between the Boys Industrial School and the State Penitentiary in Columbus, but as the way station between life and death for many. In 1935, teacher and campaign worker Arthur Glatke was appointed as warden. He was well liked as he instituted many reforms, such as music piped into the cell blocks. He met his wife, Helen Bauer, while working on Martin Davies' gubernatorial campaign. They married the same year. He was appointed to Mansfield State Reformatory. That proved to be an ominous milestone. It was an ordinary Sunday morning. Helen was preparing for church, thinking about nothing more significant than what hat would complete her outfit. She reached into the closet and pulled down the box. When she reached for the box, she surely was not suspecting what would await her as she pulled it down. Her husband's service revolver was placed on top of that hat box. As she pulled the box down, the gun fell and fired right through her lung. Helen was rushed to Mansfield Hospital, but she never left the warden's quarters of Ohio State Reformatory. Her body, without her spirit, lasted only 3 days before it expired as well. In a few short years, her husband would follow. Due to a fire at the Ohio State Penitentiary, inmates were shipped up to the reformatory. This put the prison way over capacity, so much so that they had to upgrade to a high security status. This put even more pressure upon the grieving heart of a good man. On February 10th of 1959, Art got to work in his office like any other morning. He was probably looking over his morning reports when a sudden sharp pain crossed his chest. A sudden pain. The man who had spent years trying to reform the prison died inside the very institution he had worked so hard to change. Arthur never left that office. Are these places haunted because the spirits remain? Or because the stories of people who lived and died there refuse to disappear? To this day, visitors claim they can still smell Helen's rose perfume or catch the scent of Art's cherry tobacco drifting through the halls.
See, I never smelled anything when I was there. I was in the office, not office, but it's like an office apartment, sort of thing. But it is interesting. They told us that story when I visited there, and it tragic, right? It's yeah, that it happened that way. So fast, and so unexpected that I could absolutely see how, both situations could leave, spirit, a spirit there, or two spirits, especially if they spent so much time together and they were happy, together.
Oh, yeah.
And both, a heart attack it happens a lot, but a tragic gunshot. because of a falling gun. I could absolutely see that. But when I was there, they did tell us that story, and they said that a lot of people have reported getting immediate heavy sense of these things when they pass through. Roses and cigar, right?
Yeah.
That's what it is. Yeah, yeah.
Pipe tobacco, I
Pipe
think.
tobacco. Sorry. Pipe tobacco. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's such a tragedy, and that's, I think, what I love about a lot of ghost stories is that I don't think they're meant to scare so much as tell someone's story,
Yeah.
is to commemorate the tragedy that took place. Is like, this was a hopeful young couple. Like, they had two sons there in that prison. Like, they were happy there. Like, he was doing good things.
Hmm.
And yeah, it's such a tragedy that
Yeah.
he died of a heart attack and she died. I'm sure that he felt so very guilty for what happened to his
Oh,
wife,
sure. Yeah.
and that happened 9 years before. But still, like, when you lose a loved one, it never goes away. It just, you learn how to cope with it.
Sure. Sure.
So
I also think that there's something to the building itself.
yeah.
You talked a little bit about the land.
Mhm.
There, when I was there, that was one of a few different ghost stories that they shared.
Oh yeah.
There is a wing deep in the prison. I think it's more of like where the hospital area is. I can't
Yeah.
recall exactly. That they say has the most paranormal activity in the whole building. Um, and when I was there, I didn't feel anything because apparently ghosts and spirits don't like me or something like that. But I could see how that area of the reformatory could have spirits because it felt creepy. The whole building is very, very creepy. I wonder if there's something to be said about the fact that the building might keep spirits as well.
Hmm.
Not just the fact that it's a dramatic um, death and there's a tremendous amount of anxiety and an emotional attachment to these
Oh
two
yeah.
individuals that both tragically met their end for different circumstances in that same room. Basically, it's basically the same area, but the building itself, I feel like, might have something to do with capturing spirits and ghosts. The prison in general is, you know, it creates a tremendous amount of emotion. There's
Hmm.
already emotion in the walls, from
Yeah.
the people who live and even leave there.
Oh yeah.
Um, so it's supercharged, right? It's a supercharged situation already. So I wonder if that might contribute.
No, and I mean, ghost stories have been around for centuries. I mean, like, this is one of the things that humans have done forever.
Yeah.
And I mean, granted, I would do like every year watching the Dickens classic. Of course, I'm always going to watch the best version of it with the Muppets.
Oh my
Uh,
gosh, yeah, classic.
yeah,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Christmas Carol, and so like, that's what they did in the Victorian era, was
Yeah,
telling ghost stories
yeah,
the night
yeah,
before Christmas, which
yeah, yeah.
kids already can't sleep that night. Why are you get telling ghost stories? Make
Nope.
them not
Right, I
sleep
know.
more.
Yeah. Yeah, thanks a lot.
But I mean, this is one of us, one of those things as human beings that I think that, well, one of the reasons why I think that, even to why we do our main show, is that human beings, we tell stories to try to make sense of our lives. We try to tell stories to make sense of the world around us. And off of such a tragedy, and such a tragedy of all of the people who have died in prisons,
Hmm.
and with such anxiety and with such emotion,
Yeah.
those heavy emotions, I think that mentally, I I don't subscribe to a whole lot of psychic, like
Yeah.
psychokinesis or any of that other stuff, but I
Yeah.
do think that we do leave imprints,
Oh, sure. Yeah.
like those that emotions and stuff leave imprints on things around us. Um, and there's this Zen philosophy that everything has a story. Like rocks have stories. Like every little thing has a story. And like I like that because I think that yeah, we do. We leave behind stories,
Yeah.
and when they're not as accessible, especially with tragic stories like the Gladkeys, they need to be told,
Yeah.
and they're going to be told whether people remember them or not.
Yeah. Yeah. I like that. So it's just the sense, right? There's no, there's no like reports of people being pushed or,
No.
yeah, because they were probably gentle people in their
Yeah.
lives, right? So, and there's no, unfinished business sort of thing, I would think, right, with them that would create like a situation where they would be hostile.
Yeah.
Is that poltergeist? Is that what that would be?
Well, what's funny about poltergeist, and the funny thing about poltergeist is that they have research being done on poltergeist is that poltergeists have a very specific set of circumstances that happen. So you have to have an adolescent in the home that is going through traumatic events.
Really?
And that is the only time when poltergeists tend to attach to an area.
Teenagers.
Teenagers.
The kids, man. There's the good luck. You've got 2 in your house. Good luck. I've got none. So thank you.
Hopefully we won't have enough
Yeah,
traumatic
right.
events.
Yes.
That we're gonna have a poltergeist.
Moving to a new build.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, there's no sense that we've got
Yeah.
stories that
Okay.
need to be told in this house.
Good.
As you can see behind us, there's a garage that's down. There's nothing got stirred up with the garage.
Yeah, right. Yeah. There's no knives that are going to be thrown at you from the garage. Yeah.
No.
That's good. I like, it's a sad story. It's, but it's a good story to be told.
Yeah.
And I appreciate the fact that I've been there. Maybe you and I can make a trip down there sometime and we could take a tour of the prison. It's worth the visit. Let me just say that it's very cool. Maybe bring a mask. The air quality there is extremely poor. And that's coming from someone who lives in Northeast Ohio that just had some of the poorest air quality I've ever seen in my life. So it's bad.
Yeah.
It's bad. It's bad. But good story. I like that one. Thanks for sharing, Miguel. Yeah.
And thank you all for joining us on our very first bonus episode, our Backyard Ghost Stories. So thank you for being our neighbor.
Thank you.
And
More to
see
come.
you next month when we've got another main story. Probably have tapped all of Ohio cryptids, so
Yeah.
we need to move on to our one that is not in Ohio next time, but we'll see.
Yeah. Thank you.